got my Xbox. I 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 got my Xbox.
You big bloody
I got my
legend.
Xbox. I got my Xbox.
Have you got some news? You got some news.
I haven't got my Xbox. I got my bloody order though. My
that'll do it.
pre-order.
Dan, I'm trying to give you a high five.
Oh, sorry.
Congratulations, mate. Tell me how it happened. How did it happen?
I was at work yesterday and I had a work experience. A lovely young girl called Maddie who's coming in once a week.
She is wonderful.
She's lovely.
She Lockie Reed's daughter.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, Lockie is a wonderful TV and radio personality here in WA.
Yeah, so I'm teaching her the ways of the internet. And I get this pop-up message, not checking Twitter, which is not good behaviour for an internet. I wasn't checking Twitter. Unbeknownst to me, I've been tagged by two legends, Young Gamma and the Historian. Alerting me that eBay had opened up pre-sale orders. And then the Historian went to the next length of Facebook messaging me.
He's wonderful.
And I went, oh my God. And I turned to Maddie, I said, this is a massive moment you're witnessing right now.
Yeah.
So I got my little credit card out, boom, 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 $200 later, boom!
Boom!
eBay Karen up, which is brand new.
Yeah.
It's just been opened. So 15th of October, so still 2 months.
That's all right, mate. You know
but
what?
I'm there.
At some point, you had like a year. And then at some point you had like 8 months and whatever. You can wait another couple of months. Well done, buddy. Boom, 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 boom.
Game on.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Hey, Game on Australia, by the way, is brought to you by GeForce Now, powered by Pentanet. The world's most powerful cloud gaming system has arrived in Australia this October, and its potential is limitless.
Limitless.
Think no limits.
No limits.
Level up the way you play using remote NVIDIA GeForce computing to game in real time anywhere on any device. Register now at cloud.gg. Where might you game, Dan? If you could game anywhere in real time on any device, where might you game?
Where I waste the most time, on the toilet.
Great idea.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
I think I've mentioned it. Well, probably on the toilet. I'd get a good half hour in there, I reckon. The only thing that would end up happening would be at some point my wife would become suspicious as to why I'm ducking off to the toilet for a poo-poo half a dozen times a day.
For half an hour at a time.
Come out and I'll be
with your phone.
I'll be like, oh, that's a great boss. Poo. That was a great poo. So wonderful to have them along. Thank you. Lenovo Legion, hello, and shout out to you, you wonderful, beautiful people. Quantum Energy, also wonderful partners of ours, and Nanobytes.
Yes.
Too. So yes, mate. Should we
just dive in? Let's just dive. Ready?
Game on!
Game on!
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Game on! Game on! It's gaming time! Excellent! Game on! Game on! It's gaming time! Excellent!
Did I get that right, or did you want to do something else?
No. We can just go like this.
Oh.
We come back and go like an Olympic dive because it's that time of year.
It's the Olympics.
3, 2, 1.
Oh shit!
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Whoo.
I love it. Hello, my name is Pete.
My name is Dan the Internet,
And for the next hour, we're going to bang on about games because we bloody love gaming, Dan.
and we love the Olympics.
We do love the Olympics.
We love talking about the Olympics.
We do love
and
talking
we
about
love
the
something.
Olympics.
We bloody love something else.
Gold medals.
Pooing.
Yeah?
I do love a good poo, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no,
but
so do
it's
I.
not that. It's
God, we end up in some depths at some
depths. Get one.
points. Hang on, I had it written down here.
Gaming. Bloody gaming. Bloody gaming is what we love.
How good is it?
Sorry. We did it once again. But
How
it is,
good is it,
it's
though?
bloody
How
great.
good is gaming?
Gaming, you know, every year, every 4 years or 5 years in this case, I always look at the Olympics and go, yeah, and I always say to people, and it's true, like, I don't mind it, but I liken it to being dragged onto the school sports carnival and having to sit there watch people much more talented than me do 800-metre sprints. Like, you're a bit pissed off because Peter Boll, as we're recording tonight, he's racing tonight, and he's now the most famous person, Peter, to come out of St. Norbert College. It used to be you.
It's really disappointing.
But don't discount yourself, though. You're pretty famous.
No, you're right, and he hasn't won the final yet. He could still lose. So, look, I'm genuinely Peter, because I know you're a big fan of this podcast.
Well, who isn't?
Who isn't?
Yeah.
I'm genuinely excited, mate.
Oh,
I
yeah,
really am. And he cruised into Australian records.
On, you good
so, come on, you wonderful thing. If you guys haven't heard the story of Peter Boll, by the way, just get off gaming and onto the Olympics just for a quick moment. Google it because it is an incredible story about how he was discovered.
Oh, yeah.
If not for a particular teacher there and just them needing someone to run for them. They didn't really even care who. They were like, who can run?
Yeah.
And now here he is, at the Olympics competing for gold.
Do you know, I am not even joking. That same thing happened to me at the Year 9 inter-school.
Oh, bullshit.
No, I'm serious.
What?
Someone said, one of the house captains goes, who can swim? Vandermeer, you're swimming. I was like, no, I can't swim. No, you're swimming. It was the A grade, final.
Yeah.
Everyone had cock jocks on except for me. I had board shorts on. And I'm not kidding. I wasn't even halfway up by the time they'd finished. And then the whole school was like... As I got to the end, flailing. I cannot swim the same as well. Seriously,
I did. I didn't get to tell this story this morning on the radio show, but we were talking about the things that teachers have said to you.
Oh, yeah, I've got one of those too. Yeah.
And some real shit things as well, for a good laugh.
Yeah.
And I was not a swimmer. I was not much of an athletic person anyway. And I got out of the pool after doing 50 metres. It was year 9. And the teacher, the swim coach at the moment, was just like, mate, swimming's probably not for you. I was like, oh, okay. Well, thanks.
What is?
Right.
Yeah.
Mate, I don't really know where to start today.
Yeah.
Because, Christ, there's some shit going on in gaming land at the moment. And it's some rough stuff.
Yeah.
It's some really rough stuff. Have you seen much of the Activision Blizzard thing going on?
No, I haven't. I've come in pretty cold, so I want you to tell me.
All right, we'll come in here and let me hold you and I'll warm you up.
This is a podcast that's up and about gaming. We love it. We always will love it. We bloody love it.
We bloody love it.
But, we're about also tackling the tough issues and the hard issues, and this sounds like it's one of them. So
this is a really big deal, and the reason why I just thought it was pretty, I guess, poignant to jump on this today is because it also happens to be the same day that most of us might be waking up to find out that Blizzard president J. Allen Brack is stepping down.
Yeah.
And this has got to do with the Activision lawsuit controversy.
Right.
And mate, you probably don't know much about the Activision Blizzard lawsuit controversy and everything that's going on at the moment, right?
How'd you know? Is it my vacant look? No, well, I'm not. I've never been much of an Overwatch guy, so I don't really follow it too close.
Yes.
I've never actually played the game, but you tell me.
So look, this comes from widespread allegations of sexual harassment and discrimination at Activision Blizzard, right? This is right to the bloody top. But I'm going to go into a few things here, because there's various. It's getting warm. There's various things that have sort of appeared over the past couple of weeks as this news was broken.
Yep.
That I'm just going to try and bring them all together.
Sure.
Right, now this from Kotaku, and most of this admittedly is from Kotaku.
Yeah, okay. But they're a reputable,
wonderful,
reputable website.
Yep, absolutely. Only second to GameOnOz.com.
Second.
But in this case, coming in gold, and we really appreciate it. But, there's this whole frat boy culture, accusations of sexual harassment and assault at the hands of male Blizzard employees. Okay. Comments and images shared on social media paint this picture, right? Now, get a load of this. Based on photographs and screenshots of Facebook posts obtained by Kotaku, it's clear that people beyond Alex Afrasiabi, the man named in the lawsuit and a long-time World of Warcraft developer, were aware of the Cosby suite that has been mentioned in the lawsuit. Oh. So if you're only just sort of catching up to this now, by now you've probably heard of the Cosby suite, right? This was apparently a nickname for Afrasiabi's BlizzCon 2013 hotel room. Mm. Right. Seemingly a reference to the name of previously convicted rapist Bill Cosby. Mm. Now, Alex worked on World of Warcraft beginning 2004, designed a heap of the biggest quests, creative director for 2016 Legion, 2018 Battle of Azeroth, expansions. Pretty much the only guy outside of the J. Allen Brack bloke to be outright named in the lawsuit as well, right?
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is that this is just some of the stuff that has come out of this. It is insane. I'll run it through for you, right? Mm-hmm. During a company event, BlizzCon, Afrasiabi would hit on female employees, telling him he wanted to marry them, tempting to kiss them, putting his arms around them. The complaint reads in this lawsuit, was in plain view of other male employees, including supervisors, who had to intervene and pull him off female employees.
God.
Afrasiabi, also known to engage in harassment of females, is so much so that this is the thing. It was so much so known that he was like this that his suite was nicknamed the Crosby Suite, right?
Yeah.
As I've mentioned.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just going to show you a photo here, right? This is Afrasiabi and other current and former Blizzard developers allegedly posing with a portrait of Bill Cosby at BlizzCon 2013.
Yeah. Wow.
In the room.
So they look like they're celebrating it, which
that's
is
it.
horrible.
That's deep diving into his Facebook.
Yeah.
history.
Okay.
Right, and there it is.
That's it. That Kotaku have put up. Yeah.
Is that sickening?
Oh,
it
is. It's horrible.
That is absolutely horrible.
And they're not. What's sickening more, I think, is that they're not old guys.
No, they're not old guys.
There's a real, having been around the planet, around the sun a few times, Peter. But I've been around the planet a few times.
Of course
too,
you have.
particularly Vegas. I've worked through generations, I guess, of when there was a lot of old dudes that thought that was, particularly, back in the 80s and 90s, a lot quite acceptable. And it's thankfully really disappeared. Well, we thought so anyway. They're not old dudes.
No, they're not old dudes.
They're young dudes. That's not right.
Another image from the same Facebook album shows a screenshot of a 2013 group chat called the BlizzCon Cosby Crew. And in it, former Blizzard designer David Kozak writes, "I am gathering the hot chicks for the cause." Brigham replies to Afrasiabi, "You can't marry all of them, Alex," Kozak writes. "I can, I'm Middle Eastern," responds Afrasiabi.
Oh, God.
Jesse McCree, currently a lead game designer at Blizzard, then writes, "You misspelled fuck."
Jeez. That ain't good.
Mate, ain't good is...
That's putting it lightly.
an understatement, right? Like, this is...
And it's, you know what, it embarrasses me as a man.
Oh, me too.
Because...
Especially, like, as a couple of blokes with daughters, right?
Yeah, and I get that, I get that things can be, a joke and stuff, and, things might be taken out of context sometimes, but not that. That's just not even remotely funny.
Then... there's other things that are coming out of this. There's another class action suit, which is alleging that the company purposefully misled investors with false statements over the first lawsuit, which has appeared. There were a heap of employees that actually staged a walkout last week as well, which Twitter was getting behind. They're losing Overwatch sponsors after the lawsuit. Like T-Mobile has pulled out of Overwatch and Call of Duty leagues. Apparently they have. And they've been a long-time sponsor of these leagues. They haven't officially commented about the rift, but most signs point to, see you later, we're out of here. Dexerto, which is another great website, pointed out the websites for both the Overwatch League and the Call of Duty leagues removed reference to T-Mobile at some point in July. And on July 21, so just, last month, both sported the T-Mobile logo. So by July 31, neither did. So, they're as far as their sponsors, I mean, we work in commercial radio, right? And you remember all of the Kyle and Jackie O stuff from close to 15 years ago now. Actually, over 15 years ago now. Jesus, like more closer to like, about 20 years ago or so, thereabouts. And how jumpy sponsors were around that show then, with all of the stuff that happened. Let alone the 2021 filter of we know better now.
Yes.
As a general society. But how careful are we when it comes to sponsors?
And
commercial obligations,
and you have to be. It's just a responsibility of doing what we do.
Yeah.
I think sometimes I feel it's clearly changed, but I think there's still that real, particularly, and radio is probably a bit similar. It's changed a lot for us, but back in the day it was pretty male dominant. And look at our immediate team in our job. They're mostly female. There's probably 3 of us or 4 of us that are men, and the rest are...
The vast majority of the leadership and executive team are female as well across this network.
And that's great, I feel like with gaming, there's probably been that dominant culture of men, because for a long time it was only men who, not interested in games, not the right word, but had a lot to do with the proliferation of gaming. But I feel like it's changed. But, look at the fantastic audience we've got. How many, awesome females and whatever that just love gaming as much as all of us men do. And that's the way it should be.
Mate, including in this particular team.
Correct.
So we come to J. Allen Brack, who, as I mentioned, the Blizzard president, stepping down amid the controversy. President of Warcraft and Overwatch Studio, obviously Blizzard Entertainment, leaving his position less than 2 weeks after an investigation by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing made public explosive allegations of harassment and discrimination within the company, which is what we've just been talking about.
So this is all under his watch, allegedly.
Well, okay, so let's get into the statement, right? So this is the statement released by Blizzard. To all members of the Blizzard community, we want to let you know about an important leadership change at Blizzard Entertainment. Starting today, J. Allen Brack will be stepping down as the leader of the studio, and Jen O'Neill and Mike Ibarra will co-lead Blizzard moving forward. Jen joined Blizzard in January as the Executive Vice President of Development, where she's been providing senior development leadership and support to the Diablo and Overwatch franchises.
Yep.
Jen is the former head of Vicarious Visions, which is now part of Blizzard Entertainment. After many years at Xbox, Mike, I thought I recognised that name, Mike joined the company in 2019 as the Executive Vice President and General Manager of Platform and Technology, where he's been overseeing the evolution of Battle.net, which is the interface that we use to play a lot of the games, and our development services organisation. Jen and Mike have more than 3 decades of gaming industry experience between them. Moving forward, they will share responsibilities over game development and company operations. Both leaders are deeply committed to all of our employees, to the work ahead to ensure Blizzard is the safest, most welcoming workplace possible for women and people of any gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or background, to upholding and reinforcing our values, and to rebuilding your trust. With their many years of industry experience and deep commitment to integrity and inclusivity, Jen and Mike will lead Blizzard with care, compassion, and a dedication to excellence. You'll hear more from Jen and Mike soon. Brack released a statement as well.
Oh.
His statement is very short. I am confident that Jen O'Neill and Mike Ibarra will provide the leadership Blizzard needs to realise its full potential and will accelerate the pace of change. I anticipate they will do so with passion and enthusiasm, and that they can be trusted to lead with the highest levels of integrity and commitment to the components of our culture that make Blizzard so special. In a separate announcement, and this was actually released by Activision's investor relations page, Brack is leaving to pursue new opportunities.
Okay.
So he's been president since 2018, but he's been at the company since 2006. He worked on Origin and SOE.
Right. So that's a lot to take in.
Well, I mean, the thing is, in this lawsuit, he was one of 2 people named. Like, they didn't name everybody. He was one of 2 people that were named. There was Alex, and there was him. Look, obviously, this doesn't, when it comes to sort of corporations and brands and saving face and reacting, with good PR and so on and so forth. I mean, the way that this permeated through the gaming community, and rightfully so, has just absolutely shocked Activision Blizzard to its core, culturally, financially, by lifting the lid on shit that should not be happening.
Yes.
That's now, right. We're coming into a time where we're so aware of this stuff now through the hashtag #MeToo movement and, just generally going, we will not make the mistakes of our forefathers.
No.
Here in the filter of 2021.
Yeah.
That no matter which way you looked at it, just purely by being named in this particular lawsuit,
Yeah.
He couldn't, like, anything less than this just would have been incorrect.
That's right. And brands are so not just the sponsorship loss, but the mindful of the PR. You know, the PR hit that a company can take by not acting as quickly as they do.
Yeah.
I guess, which sounds like what they've done once it's all come out. Yeah.
Mate, it's crazy. There's other things that are and this is what happens, like when something like this happens to a company and to people go digging. Like, you know, Kotaku's found that picture of the Crosby suite, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, alleged alert, all that sort of crap.
Yeah.
But, you know, even this is really interesting. So at a BlizzCon panel back in 2013, let me just find it. Was it 11? Yeah, so around about then. So
8 years ago.
Yeah, a woman by the name of Xantia. She was in the crowd for BlizzCon.
Yep.
And she's actually come out and spoken about this, to which we'll sort of go back and have a look at again. But just let me find the video because I want to play the audio here. Here we go. So, BlizzCon 2010. So the clip is of an all-male panel of World of Warcraft developers condescendingly mocking and dismissing a question by Xantia at BlizzCon 2010, and it's resurfaced around July 23. Take a listen to this. So it's part of a tweet, and the tweet is from Chris Bratt.
You muted, bro.
Who is from People Make Games.
No, you're not.
All right, here we go.
I love what you guys done with World of Warcraft. I love the fact that you have a lot of very strong female characters. However, I was wondering if we could have some that don't look like they've stepped out of a Victoria's Secrets catalog.
What do you mean? Wait. Which catalog would you like them to step out of? Could you see Sylvanas looking any other way? Right. So we feel you, and we want to vary our female characters absolutely. So yeah, we'll pick different catalogs.
Hey, Alex, what catalog is that Tauren female coming out of?
Not one you'd read.
Yeah, sexy cow business.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Some sort of agricultural.
Flogs.
Well, it just sounds like they were trying to be funny.
Yeah, it does
And
sound
they
like
weren't.
that. Yeah,
You know?
And look, I suppose in 2010, it's amazing to think back in 2010, the world's changed so much in the past 5 years, hasn't it?
Oh, 100%.
Like,
100%.
you know, like the hashtag, hashtag Me Too movement, right? That was the big thing that really kick-started
the thought process.
And really deep diving into
Yeah.
absolutely everything.
Yeah, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, yeah.
Which was initially using in this context on social media in 2006 on MySpace. But really gained widespread notoriety after Harvey Weinstein stuff, which was only 2017.
Yeah.
That's 4 years ago. This is 7 years prior to that, being
Yep.
in 2010.
I think it's 2013, no?
No.
Oh, it's 10, okay.
2010.
Yep.
I'm talking about the panel.
Yeah.
Which is not an excuse for the behaviour, but like we've come such a long way in a short amount of time in terms of the filters that we see life through these days.
And I guess the development comes from when you hear that now and you go, oh, geez, like that's...
Well, that's
You
it,
know
isn't
what I
it?
mean?
Like, I listened to that, and
Yeah.
I reckon it would have only been a few years ago, I would have gone...
Oh, yeah, good one, guys. Yeah, okay.
Look at her. Like, are you...
Yeah.
Good on you, mate. It's a video game. Give me the sexy orc.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Whereas
but
now...
looking at this now, like, you go, guys...
Come on, guys.
Fuck, read the room. That's
That's
which,
right.
you know, again, the room was like you heard the boos from the crowd, right? So
Oh,
they're getting
yeah.
caught up in the, you know, all that sort of stuff.
Well, it's like anything. There's going to be people that get pissed off, but at the same
Yeah.
time, you could be a bit more tactful about how you answer that question.
But you know that woman's Antia, the way that she responded, you see it in the video, the way
Yeah,
that she responds
yeah.
to their response,
is
like
heartbreaking. Yeah.
which also says to me, like, you know, the conversation around women having to deal with this shit for how long they have obviously been so much further ahead of the game of, come on guys, stop fucking around here, versus blokes. You know, like it is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see vision of this from only 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? And think that only just a few years ago the filter started to change, and now we're able to look at this and go, that's fucked.
Yeah, exactly right. And like you said, you know, I mean, I'm all for improving even again, because we're nowhere near, you know, right yet, but mainly for our daughters too, to make a better. You know, I'd hate for my daughter who loves gaming to be standing up at a convention like that and get embarrassed like that.
Yeah, absolutely,
That'd really annoy
mate.
me, you know?
100%. Completely agree with you. So look, that's pretty much where all of the Activision Blizzard stuff is at the moment. If we learn more, we'll keep.
Why? And that's why we're talking about it, to learn more and get better.
And get better and be better people.
Yep.
Hey, we touched on the Olympics moments ago. And I'm just going to throw this in there as well.
shot put style.
Like shot put, like
just
more like a javelin. More like a javelin.
No.
Like that. More like a javelin.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say any mention of the Olympics, courtesy of the Seven Network, just to save us.
Yeah. We are in no way affiliated with the Olympics.
No.
This is purely at a news context that we're talking about it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Courtesy of the Seven Network.
Courtesy of the Seven Network.
But have you heard of XQC?
No.
So
Well,
he's
funny enough,
streamer.
no, I haven't.
Funny enough. He's a streamer, right? He's copped a Twitch DMCA ban, and this is like his fourth fucking one.
Yeah.
But he's hit back at the Olympic Committee with a counterclaim over his ban, because what has happened is that he earned the strike because he broadcasted bits and pieces of the Tokyo Olympics on his channel. And
Okay. Yeah.
this was brought to us via Top Pilot Gaming, and the question from Top Pilot Gaming, one of our great subs
Yeah.
in the Legends Club, says, since XQC got a DMCA strike for showing the Olympics on stream and has since made a fair use claim,
Yes.
do you think that it will set a precedent for what is and isn't free use for content creators?
What?
It's a great
That's
question.
another podcast.
And, well, look, I thought we could... Sure, it's another podcast, but I thought just to touch on it briefly, right?
Yeah.
We could probably come at it from the context of what we've had to deal with
Well, this
regards
is
to the Olympics.
my job.
Right, this is your job.
is my
And,
job.
you know, this might be handy information for anybody who might be having an interest in the Olympics and bringing it to their Twitch channel and so on and so forth, right? But your
Yes.
digital content.
Yeah.
Now, your digital content for Triple M and for the Hit Network.
And yes,
admittedly, on the Hit Network, you know, we're not sports heavy. That's not what we do.
But
But we do
the
touch
right
it.
thing.
You announce the gold medal wins and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But on the Triple M network, you're probably touching it a little bit more, right?
Yes.
And the guys who are, you know, on the Triple M Breakfast Show, for example, are discussing it at length.
Yeah. Well,
So what, in the context of this and XQC and using it, and then he's actually counter-suing to a degree over fair use.
Yeah.
Then in that context, then where does it sit with you?
Okay, so if you ever want an example of the most litigious and most restrictive entity in the world around any kind of use, it's the Olympics, right? The fact that I'm even saying the Olympics on this podcast to this video makes me nervous.
Courtesy of the Seven Network.
Because, right, we in past years, and I've covered 3 or 4 now. In past years, we've even avoided using the word. We refer to it as the Tokyo Games.
Right. Okay.
Just, you know, we had clarification this year, and I can say this out loud, that as long as we don't make out in anything we do that we're affiliated with the Olympics, that we're essentially trying to con people, I guess, or trying to, not in con, just make out through a post or whatever that we are affiliated with. You know, as long as we're reporting it and in a news context, or talking about in a news context the way we are now, it's cool, right? But in past years, we would have avoided even that, okay? He has a problem in that they've got the best lawyers and the best teams in the world with everything covered, based on what I feel, and this is my personal opinion, an extremely antiquated rules around copyright and content use.
Are you talking about just with in general,
In
or
general,
just within context?
in
of the
general,
Olympics?
but they've used those rules and applied it to what they do with a massive team of lawyers, right?
And the interesting thing is that, you know, the Olympics comes around every 4 years,
Yep.
the Summer Olympics, and then you got the Winter
Yep.
Olympics interspersed. And
Yep.
so, like, you know, I don't know that they would be, or maybe they're so traditionally thinking. You look at the International Olympic Committee, for example, they're a bunch of dinosaurs.
100%. And
But like they're so antiquated when it comes to their thinking, and it only comes around every 4 years or
Yep.
so, that they would go, well, you know, we don't really look too deep into the way the digital video economy has impacted how we should be allowing people to broadcast.
yeah, and a good example of an entity, I guess, that's come a long way is probably the music industry. Look how now you can go on Instagram Reels and add commercial music to you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or TikTok. Like, there's artists who actually rely on TikTok to spread their message, you know? So that's come a long way. But even saying that, you know, it's still... And I see it all the time. I deal with a lot of young people who think that Googling an image and putting it online, because it's on Google, I can use it. Well, no, you can't. You know, there's actually a little option you got to take called Creative Commons license. And then you'll watch, you know, 100 pictures of Jamie Oliver go down to 1. Because they're the only ones you can legally use without infringing on copyright, right?
Right.
The golden rule for copyright, and back to this guy too, and this is an example of this that I got taught, which I apply to this day. If anything you go to use for your own channel, whether it be a website, Twitch channel, video, whatever, if your gut feel is that somewhere along the line that bit of content has been created by someone else for money, so money's exchanged hands,
Yep.
don't use it.
Right.
Okay? A classic is, you know, you might want to put a picture up of your favourite footy team on your webpage about your favourite footy team. Now, you go and just grab a Google image of, you know, whatever. That's probably been taken by some dude who got paid money to take that photo. Mm-hmm. So therefore, you are infringing on his copyright. Mm-hmm. It's not. I don't particularly agree with it. I feel like that ruling, and you know, I feel like now there's a big argument to say, well, I'm actually helping the brand's exposure through my love of that club, right? And it depends on the company. Like, some companies are like, yep, go for it, man. We want you to go and put up as much stuff about us as you can. There's a real grey area now between, you know, it feels like to me this guy obviously has a lot of followers.
Oh, shit tons. He's one of the biggest in the world.
So
but, like,
he's a big fish and they've gone for him.
Yeah.
If you and I did
fish.
it, if you and I did it on our own personal Twitch, they probably wouldn't care because we haven't got enough followers.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Well, the impact is so much lower.
Yeah,
so let me just run you through...
What was his fair use argument?
Okay, well, let me run you through some of this, all right?
Yeah.
This is this is the additional context that he provided to his fans. He said, normally strikes don't get you banned, he clarified, but because it was a live strike, they banned him.
Yeah.
He then explained that while DMCA-related bans normally last 24 hours, this suspension dragged on for 2 days, which raised some red flags.
Yeah.
But then I looked at it, he said, and I talked to my team and was like, can you do anything about this? Because 2 days sounds like a crazy amount of time to be banned for this. Then, after reviewing all of his options with the legal team, he decided to move forward with issuing a counterclaim against the party who had issued the copyright strike against his channel, which, in the streamer's own words, is pretty ballsy. He said his rationale behind fighting the DMCA strike is, this is transformative content, this is fair use, and this is not what you guys claim it is.
Yeah.
So he's effectively going, like, you know, they're claiming that it's copyright to his broadcast. It's coming from the IOC. Now, just to paint context on that, the IOC, I think, stands to make, about $1 billion in broadcast rights fees tied to the Summer Olympics for Tokyo.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this is like how long has the Olympics been around for? Like, Jesus Christ, like
over 100 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, obviously you're not going back that far, but let's think about
in terms
in
of
terms of broadcasting, like commercializing broadcast rights. Like we're talking billions of dollars over years, right?
Probably started with radio.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Right now, let's think in the context of that. In the context of what would it be, like 70 years or so of broadcast, like traditional broadcasting deals.
Yep.
Really, streaming's blown up in the last sort of 5 years.
Yeah.
So that it's less than fucking 10% of their history. So all of a sudden, this has come at them like, holy shit, where's this come from?
Yeah.
Where has this come from?
Well,
so I think their knee-jerk reaction would be to, hey, Mix 94.5 can't just say Olympics and play all that shit without crediting Channel 7 because Channel 7 have paid money to get the rights to broadcast, so they own it for the Australian market. So you should not be able to just get those rights. The interesting thing is whether or not it would be tracked to his locale. He's a Canadian streamer. So it'd be, I'm just sort of wondering, would it be in the context of, okay, he's a Canadian streamer, so then would that be whoever in Canada has the broadcast rights to?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean,
CBC, by the way, holds the Canadian broadcast rights.
Yep. There's been instances of a guy who paid per view for a boxing match and then broadcast it on Facebook Live.
Well,
and there's a real shift.
I don't regret doing that, by the way.
There's a real shift in mentality, particularly when I say younger people, because, I'm an old man.
Yeah.
Even younger than you. So we're talking sub-25s who don't really understand that that's actually infringing on, they're actually just sharing the love, right?
Right.
But that, to a company that's paid a lot of money for those broadcast rights, that's a pain in the ass. And, I'm actually, I'm being facetious here, but, I could have just imagined the ISC committee going, okay, guys, agenda 1, what's Twitch? Twitch. Anyone know what Twitch is?
Yeah.
Why? Because someone broadcasts, and I don't know, was he broadcasting it or was it just incidental? Or was he making a video with snippets?
I don't know that it would have been... Okay.
It wasn't
this is what I'm trying to find. I'd love to know what
he did. Yeah.
XQC hit with 5-hour Twitch ban over NBC Olympic stream.
So NBC,
he was caught. Okay. So here's... All right. This is where you fucked up.
With all due respect.
He was caught rebroadcasting NBC's coverage.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay.
So,
yeah.
I mean... Okay, so for me, right?
Yeah.
If he grabbed a clip of... Because he's a Canadian, let's use this. Of a Canadian runner crossing the finish line. And played it back and went... Wow, get a load of this guy. How good is this? Let me show you the... Argument is still strong in terms of you've broadcast something that is commercially owned by someone who's paid for the rights to use that on their network and then on-sell advertising over it, right? Yep. However, it's a tiny little clip, 5 seconds or so, or maybe the length of the race, and the argument's probably quite weak, right? Like they'll probably just go, hey, don't do that again. But you've taken the broadcast. Yeah. Like you've taken the full broadcast and you're just rebroadcasting it.
There is a stipulation and there is actually a loophole that I know of.
What is it? And
that is if you can prove it's in a news context and you can use less than 30 seconds, then it's considered fair use.
If you can prove it's in a what?
News context.
News context.
So you've written a news story. This is where it will be grey area because, Twitch is such a new platform in the history of broadcasting. He might win this because I'm guessing he used less than 30 seconds.
Well,
I don't know.
Hang on. So the last image shown on the Canadians channel before his ban was him watching the judo match between Austria's Michaela Polares versus Japan's Aria Chizuru. So XQC commented soon after admitting he believed the suspension lasts 295 minutes. Broadcasting is when he said, I took necessary, I thought it would be fine. Well, he says here that he took necessary precautions and thought it would be fine. Really didn't expect it, but I could have easily avoided this. During his stream, XQC floated Twitch guidelines and told viewers that he could just disable the VOD in question afterward and be in the clear.
Right.
So
He's taken a punt and he's been caught out.
look,
But
if he's by the looks of things, if he's watching a bout between Austria and Japan, like he's watching, that's not news. You know what I mean?
No.
That's sure as shit not a 30-second clip.
No, that's exactly right, and that's the point, right? If he was a news, they even look at where he might have an argument is because he's got such a viewership, right? He's not a minor. He's not some dude broadcasting to 20 dudes, and trying to claim he's a news outlet.
Yeah.
He has got a big following. So, but him watching them, that's not newsworthy. That's him watching judo. And so he will get caught.
I mean, look,
busted. But at the same time, his counterclaim, lawyers are like,
Yeah, but if his counterclaim, realistically, if his counterclaim were to win, what grounds could it possibly win?
Well, there's no grounds. That's I can't
but if
think
it were,
of it now.
if it would, even if you had to guess, like what could he possibly say?
It's probably the inherent nature of Twitch in that there's people watching you doing something.
Okay,
You know what I mean? That's the only, and I'm not a lawyer at all. That's the only way I can think they could try and argue it, because technically he was doing what you do on Twitch. He was broadcasting himself doing something and other people watching that.
Tokyo 2020 has a heavier DMCA presence. However, broadcasting corporations are reportedly using live tracking technology to snipe offending streams, automatically taking them offline if any copyrighted material is pinged.
And it makes me wonder, what if he was playing, what if there's an Olympics game that he was playing where he was playing a game of judo? I know it's not happening. I know it's a different broadcast thing, but it's the same content.
Well, this is a funny story, right? So, you've just stumbled upon
Who watches
something.
judo, by the way? Not me.
This is a funny story, and I'm gonna have to Google it, and I don't quite know what to Google to get there. But let me put man live streams pay-per-view by making it look like he's playing a game. All right, so let me see if I can find. Bang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Google.
So
Done it again, Google.
December 2017. December 2017. We might have even covered this.
Yeah, I think we did.
UFC pay-per-view streamed on Twitch by a guy pretending it was a video game. Yeah, there he is. So, Twitch has rules prohibiting live streaming, television programming, particularly pay-per-view. Lester_gaming, AJ's Lester's heretofore unknown channel on Twitch until this, streamed UFC 218 on Saturday night by pretending he was playing a UFC video game. The fact EA Sports' UFC 3 is currently in an open beta no doubt helped with his disguise.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But come on, the game does not feature this level of realism.
See for yourself, yeah.
Well, the media has been disabled in response to
yeah,
report
of course,
copyright.
So, all right, and this is all, I studied uni at 3 years for this kind of stuff, right? And it's way too much detail, like I said, it's its own episode. But there's an undercurrent, I think, within gamers that finds that pretty funny. I find that funny.
Yeah, I do find it
There's a part of me going, good on you, mate. Because, I personally feel like the digital copyright laws are antiquated and need to be brought to the now.
Okay, well, hello.
But at the same time, it's like, we've inevitably been DMCA'd by playing that Metallica thing.
Yeah, no, we have. Yeah. Christ, I mean, speaking of Metallica themselves were DMCA'd.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
He's a part of this. Okay, I saw something, and I'll just say it out loud. Twitch partners with NBC Olympics to provide live event content for Tokyo 2020. Now, I thought, seeing that headline, maybe this could where forming his argument could begin.
Yep.
However, they will produce live content in the lead up to the games and throughout the event in a partnership that will emphasise unique programming tailored to the Twitch community, including highlight studio shows, gamified pre-Olympic activations, Olympic athlete interviews, and Olympic-themed gaming competitions. And if it's in partnership with Tokyo, then there's obviously a process there.
Yeah.
The NBC Olympics channel on Twitch will also host several content series throughout the games, including a highlight show strip, etc. See, and this is the thing, right? So, if there is a Twitch.tv NBC Olympics, if there's an actual channel, right, on top of that, then there you go. So, NBC Olympics, you know, if they're broadcasting the Olympics live through their own Twitch channel, I mean, that's even more context for them to argue against what it is that XQC is doing.
I think XQC is going to get a harsh lesson in copyright infringement.
He's got a million followers.
Yeah, and it's something that, seriously, for everyone watching, it's something you probably, if you're going to get to any kind of broadcasting or streaming or web content production or social media production, you need to get your head around it, because I've done it. I've had to do it by choice. I work for a major media organisation, and the last thing I want to do is caught out and get us all in trouble. So I'm really careful.
He's so caught out.
But, good luck to... I mean, this may bring change, and that I'm all for that, because I still feel like it needs to be addressed.
Beautiful.
That was good deep dive, mate.
Good deep dive, mate. Come up for air.
Yes.
Now let's fuck off.
We're going to do any Legends questions?
Well, that was a Legends question. That was Top Pilot Gaming.
What a wonderful... That's the kind of shit that makes the Legends, isn't it? Because that was brilliant.
Yep, that is that's 2 for 2 from Top Pilot Gaming.
Yeah, bloody oath.
On some deep thought
Bring
questions.
it on.
So we appreciate that, mate.
Love
Thank
that.
you very much. Let's shut up shop, mate.
All right.
Let's bugger off.
Hey.
Before we do, have you seen the shorts for the movie Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds?
I have seen the shorts, yes.
Looks good.
Yes.
Looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds is fucking fantastic.
Yes.
So,
I love that, man.
anything he's in,
Yeah.
well, except Green Lantern, is pretty bloody good. So looking forward to this.
Green Lantern and Deadpool.
Yeah, well,
it bounces out.
you know what? No, you know what ended up happening that was great, right? Was in Deadpool 2, the post-credits scene, him acknowledging that Green Lantern was shit, where he fucking pops himself making that decision. Yeah. But Laserbeam,
Yes.
who we've spoken to, who is one of the world's biggest Fortnite streamers.
Yes.
He's the Australian tradie.
Yes.
He's even got his own tradie skin in the
Yes,
game.
he has, yes.
We were offered a catch up with Laserbeam because he's one of, I think it's 10 different, like top streamers in the world who's actually going to be a part of the movie.
Right.
And we couldn't.
No.
But you know who could?
I do know.
Straight Jacket Jim. The man! So, guys, we're going to leave it here. Thank you so much to Lenovo Legion, NVIDIA GeForce Now, powered by Pentanet, Quantum Fam as well, you bloody legends, and Nanobytes for all your support. We really appreciate it. We're going to get out of here because Nuts and Bolts with Straight Jacket Jim is coming up next. But before we get to that, we're going to leave you with his and Laserbeam's catch up.
No, we're not.
Aren't we?
It's next week. Fuck. There's an embargo. I'll just let you go all that time. But next week. Fuck.
All right, well, let's piss off. Have a great weekend in gaming. Nuts and Bolts is coming up. And as we always say, Dan.
Don't forget to save your legends.
Yeah, and check your calendar appointments too for embargoes, you dickhead. Ooh. Game on, legends!
Yes!
You have found us. You are here. You are watching our shit. Sorry. No, look, if for some ungodly reason you do really love it, click subscribe. It means that you get notifications and stuff when we upload more of this gear. So, yeah. I mean, that's really it.
We have a heap of stuff going up all the time.
Yeah.
So make sure you don't want to miss any of it.
I mean, it won't put food on the table. We get that. It's not going to earn you money watching our things. It'll earn us money. We're not even monetized yet.
No, we're not. That's how bad it is.
But, I don't know, mate. Just do us a solid, I guess.
Please.
Cheers.
Cheers.